Once your painting has dried, you and your group will look at your mini Navajo rugs and use some of your patterns that you've created to draw in your stripes. So everyone should have at least 1 or 2 rows of their patterns on there. So I'm going to draw one in to show you what I mean. So if I copy this top one, I'm going to put that in, drawing bigger than I have it so that it fills up that space. You're going to do this to each of your stripes and then come show me when all of them have a pattern inside of them. And again, everyone in your group should be contributing to the patterns on the painted stripes and on the not painted stripes. So there's 1 row left. One row finished. I'm gonna go to these other rows and come back. Okay, so I've added pencil patterns in each of these. So this is when I would go check the work with the teacher. And then next you're gonna get your paints together. So you have to have your blue and green or whatever colors you've already painted with. White will be one of my colors as well. So that's 3 colors. You can have up to 4 colors that you're gonna repeat throughout. So I have added purple as my 4th color. So when you're ready, you're going to begin painting with those colors in your spaces. If this is kind of dark like this one, I can lighten it up with some white for you. So it depends on if you like that shade or if you want to go lighter. So just like any other patterns, we are painting the colors also in a pattern. So if that diamond is blue, they all should be blue in this row of pattern. Taking your time to carefully paint inside or on top of your lines. Okay, so I've added some white. You can see I'm moving that around in those patterns. You will need to use smaller brushes for a lot of this, but go ahead and keep working on those different areas that you are adding in to your spaces. If you need a smaller brush, check the brushes that were provided for you. And like this one might be a little big for this triangle, so I may want to get a smaller brush. It works best to outline your shape, then paint in what you're painting so that it will control the edges and make them nice and smooth. And just like when we painted our stripes, we don't want to paint a wet color next to a wet color. This is dry, so I can paint that. Now, I just painted this one. I would not want to paint this space because that would be a wet color next to a wet color. You can see I'm painting over these circles. That's okay. I'm going to go back later and paint the circles in with another color. And then just remember to get those nice smooth edges to kind of go along the edge, and then when you feel like you're running out of paint, you can re-dip and get more. Spread out once you have outlined the shape so that you can get those smooth edges. So here you can see I have moved the purple, green, and blue around, and the white. I'm gonna let this dry now. I could always go back and maybe add some more things on top of the paint once it dries, you know, more pattern dots or lines. Some of these smaller lines, like in these arrows, I am going to use a marker later when it's dry because it's almost too difficult to get that skinny line. We will be going over some of this also with black when it's all finished. So we're going to put these on the drying rack right now, and then I'll come back and show you the next steps.